Shalom Israel. First and foremost, we need to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash, the one of the apostles and elders, great millstone, for teaching us his truth, peace, and blessings, to hopefully like the Israel and Shalom. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Foundation in Hebrew, by Hashem is the name, Yahushai is the name of the begotten Son. Back on lesson, and today we're going to be touching on this recent situation that happened with North Korea, shooting missiles, doing testing, and missiles landing over there near Japan in the ocean. So I've two quick videos just to go a little bit more in depth into what's going on, because you're seeing so many things happening. Recently, a couple days back, made a lesson going to Russia and the U.S., seeing the tensions that are high with that. Now you're seeing, North Korea doing missile testing, so hey, things are getting worse, So let's play quick videos just to get a little more, once again, a little more information, and then, get description from there.
North Korea have just fired their longest range missile test ever, and they fired it over Japan. And as it was flying over the country, you could hear the terrifying sounds of sirens ringing out across the cities, prompting all residents to take cover. I mean, it is genuinely hard to believe that this is happening in 2022. In response to the threat, US and South Korean warplanes practiced bombing a target in the Yellow Sea, while Japan said that it wasn't ruling out any options, including counterattack capabilities. The missile eventually landed in the Pacific Ocean, but worries are now growing because North Korea has conducted 5 missile tests in 10 days.
So you see them doing missile testing, and you have, the U.S. preparing to, counterattack. You're seeing the tensions at an all-time high. You're seeing so many things happening, man. So let's get one more video and get a little bit into the articles that I got, and then jump to scriptures. Lo and be edifying.
The U.S. and South Korea just fired 4 missiles into the Sea of Japan as a show of force against North Korea. Yesterday, North Korea launched a missile over Japan, causing Japan to activate its air raid siren. And earlier today, Japan and the U.S. held joint drills in response to North Korea's provocation. I guess there's no diplomatic tradition more steadfast than bombing the ocean to show your displeasure.
So you had North Korea doing testing, the U.S., basically showing off their might, Russia, making all these different threats to America, also in Ukraine. Tensions at an all-time high. South Korea. These two quick articles right here. South Korean missile crashes during the drill with the U.S., as you saw in those videos. The Russia warns of potential direct military clash with NATO. And this right here also, nuclear war is possible, which I kind of touched on a little bit in one of my latest lessons. But let's go a little bit more in depth with this article, and then we'll jump to scriptures. And it's gonna be a short lesson, kind of a quick update. There's just so many things happening once again. Especially after another. Once again, as I mentioned earlier, going to what's happening with Russia, the U.S. Now you're seeing North Korea doing, once again, military testing with their missiles, But the U.S. moves aircraft carrier strike group near Korea after North missiles launches, South Korea says. And it says U.S. Navy aircraft carrier strike group is moving into waters off the Korean Peninsula as tensions flare after a spate of North Korea missile launches over the past 2 weeks, South Korean security officials say. So South Korea's National Security Council held an emergency meeting on Thursday after North Korea launched 2 more short-range ballistic missiles. The sixth such launch in 12 days, the country's presidential office said in a statement. It says the NSC warned that North Korea's provocation will face a stronger response. As you just saw, they were basically showing their military might, their power, and also preparing to do counterattacks. You're seeing these tensions at Al Bashar building, which is ultimately going to lead to World War III. Now you're seeing North Korea in the mix. Now you're seeing Russia, U.S., all these different things are happening, man. Which is only going to boost the tensions even more. As demonstrated by the deployment of the aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagan and its strike group into the East Sea, also known as the Sea of Japan, following Pyongyang's launch of an intermediate-range ballistic missile. A little bit more. So South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff also said on Wednesday that the U.S. carrier strike group will be redeployed to the Sea of Japan in what it characterized as a very unusual movement to demonstrate the resolute will of the SKUS alliance to respond decisively to any provocation or threat from North Korea. So asked about the South Korean statement on the Reagan's movements, a U.S. 7th Fleet spokesperson told CNN, the Ronald Reagan Carrier Strike Group is currently operating in the Sea of Japan. The Navy said it does not comment on further or on future operations. So let's go to the scriptures. Once again, it's a quick update because you're seeing these wars and rumors of wars that we're seeing tons of articles. People on Twitter. You have World War III trending. Talks of war is in the air, man. Once again, those rumors of wars that we are seeing, and that's prophesied in the scriptures that we would see that would take place before Yahweh shall make his return. So these are major end time signs. You're still gonna have a lot of people thinking this is a joke. It's not gonna happen. That America will never fall, but that's not what the scripture said. Scripture go. Matter of fact, the scripture going to how his place and be destroyed and never inhabited again. Go back to Isaiah 13, as well as other scriptures. But the Revelation 11:14, the second woe was past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And what was that second woe? Going to the Second World War. Now you're seeing the Third World War coming quickly. Once again, you're seeing so many articles, videos coming out of Russia making threats to America if they step in against Ukraine. You have North Korea doing missile testing, landing over there near Japan. Now you have the U.S. stepping in, preparing to basically doing a practice run of counterattacks. So once again, tensions are high. And slack if I sound like a broken record, repeating certain things, but gotta constantly repeat it and push it. But Joel 3:9-13 said, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So you have these nations starting to prepare to go to war, preparing to fight. Verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords, which going to actually look it up. It's not giving me what I wanted, but basically stuff used for farming and just tools. So you beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So you have the nations starting to stand up against America. Over there in Iran. You have Russia, North Korea. Verse 11. So assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come down, or come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Verse 13, so put you in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe, this place is ready for the picking. So come get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for the wickedness is great. So it's showing you how Bashmal Shai is preparing to destroy this place, man. You're seeing end-time prophecies, end-time signs before our very eyes. Jeremiah 50 also going to tell you nations are going to come up against America, aka Babylon the Great, the whore. For lo, I will raise cause to come up against Babylon, an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. So from thence she shall be taken, the arrows shall be as if you mighty expert men, none shall return in vain. And you go into those arrows, which are going to those thermonuclear missiles, hitting their mark. Jeremiah 15:14-15, this couple verses up. So put yourselves in array against Babylon, round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows. Because you have these nations shoot these missiles over here too. For she has sinned against Yahweh Bashemel Shai. Verse 15, shout against her round about. She has given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of Yahweh Bashemel Shai. Take vengeance upon her as she had done, do unto her. Go back to Isaiah 47. You'll come sit in the dust, O daughter of Babylon. America in this, high, lofty estate is going to be brought low into the ground, to the dust, the lowest part, man, being taken out. So I got 4 more scriptures I got. Just to push a point across, going to God's place and be destroyed. And Isaiah 34:1-6. So come near ye nations to hear, and hearken ye people of all the earth hear, and all that is therein the world, and all things that come forth of it. Listen. For the indignation of Yahweh Shemel Shai is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. Verse 3, their slain shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. Verse 4, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And the heavens being rolled together as a scroll is going to see those mushroom clouds that you see. I believe, even Russia was showing pictures of mushroom clouds. So you're seeing those threats are going out. Even that one picture, if you've seen it, many brothers already went into it, but going to basically an omen of what's to come to America. You had this gigantic, what it looked to be like a nuclear missile explosion, a mushroom cloud, an omen and a sign of what's to come, which I may actually touch on that. We'll see. But then all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. So you can see the main point. Go into those mushroom clouds, and all the hosts shall fall down, and the leaf fall off from the vine, as a falling fig from the fig tree. Say, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come upon Idud. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, another word for Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment, because the Lord is also going to destroy a lot of our people. I believe it's in 2 Peter or 1 Peter, but going to how judgment must start at the house of the Most High, around the 4th chapter. But this, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Was that sword going to those thermonuclear missiles coming down from the atmosphere? Verse 6 says, the sword of Yahweh Shemashai is filled with blood. It is made with fat. It made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Yahweh Shemashai had a sacrifice in Basra and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And when they would make those sacrifices, what would they do with the fat? They would throw it into the fire, and that's what's coming. Thermonuclear fire. As we also kind of read in, where was it? Jeremiah 50 right here. Which actually, I think I read it up here in Isaiah. Forgot exactly where I read it, but let's continue on. 2 Peter 3:10 to add more onto it. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and in the which the heaven shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that therein shall be burned up. So the Lord is come as a thief in the night. It's come unexpected to those that are not watching, are not paying attention, are not being vigilant, and they're not preparing for when our Lord returns. Because of course we don't know the exact date, the exact hour, the exact second our Lord will return, but we're given signs to measure the times that we are in to prepare for when our Lord returns, man. But it's read from time but the day of the Lord comes as a thief in the night, in which the heaven shall pass away with great noise. And what is that going into? The great noise going to those explosions popping off. And the element shall melt with fervent heat. And I always like to mention, going to that one Terminator scene, if you've seen it, going to that, basically that thermonuclear explosion that happened, and you see her holding on to that gate, all their flesh being burned, them literally be turned to dust, man, being melted instantaneously. A great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that therein shall be burned up. So you got 2 more scriptures, which I could have got more, but pretty much the main point. And one of my latest lessons kind of go into a similar topic. Just a quick update what's going on. Because you're seeing once again so many things happening, so many articles going to this tensions at an all-time high. World War III, or thermonuclear warfare is possible, as you just saw in that article we read earlier. Twitter is trending with World War III. So hey, talks of war is in the air, man. And this place is coming to an end. Revelation 6:13-14. And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Going to those shock waves, those pretty sure it's the shock, basically the shock waves from those explosions. I've seen military doing testing. Certain videos will come out of them, will shoot a missile a certain amount of feet, or however amount of feet in front of them, and you can see that shockwave just heading towards them. Verse 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. Once again, go into those mushroom clouds, where you just get a little example. And one thing I mentioned earlier, I believe there's one in Nevada that look similar like this. An omen and a sign of what's to come. So I should get that. Right here. This is what I was mentioning earlier. This is what I was talking about. It says mushroom cloud spotted in the U.S. city amid nuclear threats between West and Eastern blocs. So you saw a quick little example of what's coming, man. Especially with all the tensions, with all the threats being made, and you see this little example of what's coming, man. Because hey, that is what's coming. So let's close Isaiah 2:19 just to add on to a little bit as we read in Revelations. And it says, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth for the fear of Yahweh shall shine, for the glory of his majesty when he arises to shake terribly the earth. So it's going to have many of these nations, or specifically Esau, Edom, these elites trying to hide in these deep underground military bases, these bunkers that they have spent trillions of dollars on in order to escape and flee from the judgment, which they will not be able to. Going into Jeremiah 16:16, as well as being other scriptures, how they're not going to be able to escape. So learn and edify. I pretty much hit the main point already. I don't want to drag this out. Just to make it a quick update as far as what's going on with North Korea. South Korea, the U.S., Russia, Ukraine. You're seeing so many things happening, man. So hey, keep your eyes peeled, and remain vigilant, man, because we're having some very evil and scary times. And hey, we need to, constantly, seeking to please Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Praise the Lord for strength to endure these times to come, and to have mercy upon us, man. Because hey, you're seeing, a lot of things happening, man. So I do want to give all praises, honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai, Bashem Kakadash, double to the apostles and those great Muslim of teaching us this truth, peace and blessings to hopefully this one. Shalom. See you next one.